Yeah, my name's Phil Piggott-Reeves. I've been a frontline paramedic for 20 years this year.
My name's Chris Rushton. I've been in the ambulance service for 33 years now, paramedic for the last 25. Yeah, sometimes it's really long days, and it affects your stress, your mental health and things like that.
First of all, we just thought it was just a cold, probably a bit of a flu symptoms. And then it progressed. Nearly every patient we went out to had some sort of respiratory problem. So we guessed something worse was happening. And then the newspaper reports come out. We started to get newsletters from the ambulance service saying there's a more severe sort of illness going round. And then that's when we heard COVID. And then lockdown happened and everybody was at home except for us frontline paramedics.
There was sort of rumours as soon as I moved into control that there was something coming out of China that was a virus. I didn't know what it was, didn't know how it affected you and things of that nature. So it was sort of, yeah, there's something happening, but everything just carried on day to day. It was not a problem. And then it just went absolutely horrendous. Asthma, pneumonia, and things of that nature that's normally easily treated, they were escalating into deaths. And there was a lot of deaths. And that's, yeah, that's how it started really. And then we moved into isolation.
You must stay at home.
People were scared. They were scared of calling an ambulance. Every job was exactly the same, and you were hot every time. You got gloves on. You were keeping your distance from people. There was no. Everybody was scared. Everybody was scared that I could pass it to you. You could pass it to me. I could take it home to my children. I could give it to you. It was just, everybody was scared of it, and communication was just lost, and patient treatment, I think, suffered greatly.
The worst thing about it was, are you going to catch it? Are you going to bring it home to your family? I think that's what a lot of the paramedics was talking about. So we was probably a bit safety conscious of actually touching the patient at all. So first thing we used to say is, have you got COVID? Some of them wouldn't tell the truth. Until we found out the medical details that they did have it.
Because we've got this thing at work called SALS. It's for mental health. And I have seen or heard of quite a few people that are approaching them, should we say quietly, because obviously there's still, around mental health, there's still a taboo that you're not strong enough or you've got problems or anything like that. So people know they've got a little bit of a problem, but they're still not or accessing these things because they think that it'll go against them.
So I've seen a lot of mentally exhausted people. A lot of them went off probably with minor illnesses which they wouldn't have normally. I've seen a lot of people getting probably more aggressive, loss of temper, and then some of them just sat on their own in the mess room, as we call it, on their own. So I did see a drastic loss of sort of what you call disciplining people, where they progressively went downhill. And obviously, when they go home, they're just going to sit there, probably go to bed, and then come back in the next day and not talk to the family about it.
The hospitals, like I say, I don't know their policies, but you could really tell that the nursing staff, the doctors, I don't know further into the hospitals onto wards, but the A&Es were absolutely exhausted. And it was taking a massive toll on everybody.
Thinking that they're going to catch it. Some people even slept in their own vans, so they didn't have to go home and give it to the family. So it's probably the fear of giving it to the family that gave them more of this mental type illness. And just seeing death in and day out, people dying of like you thought was just a cold and a flu. So yeah, I think it did take a little bit on me as well.
They put posters up and things like that, but it's not actually pushed because there is still a massive taboo around mental health, seen as your weakness if you go and see people and things like that.
Yeah, that's a definite. As I says, trying to be a paramedic to make a difference, save lives. I still reckon I saved probably hundreds of lives throughout the 2 years of COVID. So yeah, satisfaction was guaranteed there.
Yes, most definitely. It doesn't make any difference what job it is, sitting at a desk. You realise that at some point you might get backache from sitting at that desk. It's just one of the things that you accept. You're going to see death. You're going to see birth, you're going to see lots of things. Mental health is just something that comes along with the job, unfortunately. No, I wouldn't change. I wouldn't change anything. I'd still become a paramedic.
Like I said, I've delivered 33 babies, so yeah, I've brought life in. So yeah, other aspects is seeing them sit up in the hospital bed, coming over, thanking you, shaking your hands for saving their family's life, or indeed their lives. So yeah, that's satisfaction.
The elderly sit on their own day in, day out, and the only person that they've seen in the last month is you. And you've sat down, you've made them a cup of tea, you've had a chat to them, you found out what's actually the matter. When you make a difference to somebody's life and you see their look on their face, it's just absolutely brilliant.